Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy iHumbo here, bringing you a brand new upload, and today I'm going to be going over my updated best settings, best keybinds, best DPI if you are a beginner switching to keyboard and mouse. And I'm going to do my best today to make this the all-encompassing video, the only video you will need. I'm going to be answering tons of questions that I've seen in my recent videos on this, tons of comments and questions you guys have had. I'm trying to make sure this video gives you all the answers right here, right now, so make sure you watch it all the way through. Make sure you drop a sub with nobody's on if it does go on to help you with your progression to keyboard and mouse, whether you're on console or PC. Hope it helps, man, but let's get into this video, baby. So the first question that I want to cover here as far as binds go is, what do I do if I do not have side thumb mouse buttons on my mouse? And I've seen this comment so many times, so it's time to address it in this updated version. Here's what I'm going to say, guys. If you are seriously consider switching to keyboard and mouse and doing this long term, you literally need side mouse buttons, especially for Fortnite. It is too much to have all of your build binds on your keyboard. It is just too much. You want to have two of those build binds on your mouse buttons. Now, we might be saying, well, I don't have the money for one of these, these are expensive. Guys, there are $10, $20 options. And yes, that might not be most optimal. Some of those are cheaper mice. They're not gonna be super great quality. But what I'm trying to say here is, by any means, man, if you can save up $20, do some chores, you can go down to Walmart. That's what my first mouse was. I had like a spider or something, a spider wire mouse or something to that effect. And it was like 20 bucks at Walmart, 15 bucks at Walmart. It had side mouse buttons. You guys literally need those. So if you're anybody sitting here watching this video, you just need to understand that if you want to be a really, really, really good builder on Fortnite, that is something that is required, honestly. So this is my answer to that question that I've been seeing so much. You got to find a way to get them, man. By any means, just, save up money in any way. It does not have to cost a ton. You don't need a crazy expensive mouse. So important, though, if you want to be successful. And the next thing that I want to cover that you guys ask about so much in the comments is about sensitivity. How do you find the right sense? You guys see my sensitivity, and I've made major changes to mine since my last video on this topic. I've gone up in sense a lot, which I'll be showing you guys later in this video. But I just want to say this, right? If you guys want to start working your way up in sensitivity or down in sensitivity, or maybe match my sensitivity, don't do it all in one swift step. You need to do this incrementally, day by day. Otherwise, you're gonna hate it. You're not gonna have any muscle memory adapting over time. You're gonna go backwards and regress in skill level. So if you want to move up to the sense that I show later, because I really do believe in it, here's what you need to do. You need to move by like 0.2 or 0.3 XY like every single day. You need to slowly work up towards my sensitivity or down to my sensitivity, wherever you guys are currently at. You don't want to do it immediately, otherwise you're definitely going to hate it. Just a disclaimer. And the last thing that I want to cover before we actually get into the settings and sensitivity is that no binds that you guys switch to where you're going through all these YouTube videos are going to make a difference like instantaneously, okay? So what you need to adjust for is your level of muscle memory that you have with your current binds. So what that means is you've been playing on binds for 2 months or 3 months, which is a pretty long time. Then you change to these binds. At first, you're going to regress in skill level a lot, and it's going to be frustrating. You cannot come to my video and comment and say, oh, well, this didn't work for me. These binds are terrible. These binds are very, very good. My sensitivity is very, very good. I've spent a lot of time cultivating what I like and finding out, just watching tons of videos, and shout out to Jerry and people like that. But you need to understand these things take time, and the less time you've spent on keyboard and mouse, the less muscle memory you already have built in bad habits, the easier this is going to be for you to change your bind. So just adjust for that and remember that. You need to understand the longer you've been on whatever you've been on. So if you've been on something for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to change your bind sensitivity just like that, So, but if you've only been on it for like a week, or you're brand new to keyboard and mouse, it's gonna be a lot easier. You're gonna notice a lot faster improvement. So just scale your expectations to your, your level of time you've already spent on it. But that's all I want to say about all those things. Hope I answered some questions that you guys might be commenting, but let's get into the actual keybinds and settings and sensitivity right now. Alright guys, so starting off with display, of course I'm playing in full screen mode, and I'm actually back to native resolution here at 1920 by 1080. I'm also capping my frames at 144 FPS. I highly recommend a frame cap. I just think it helps your FPS run more smoothly and not have as many lag spikes and drops, as opposed to if you were running on unlimited frames. I like to have a comfortable frame cap. It's something I know my PC can run, especially in creative. Coming down here to brightness, I'm running 60 brightness with Dutranope 8 on. I moved that up from 7 just because I feel like a stronger Dutranope, the better. Honestly, I could move that up even more in the future. Dutranope is by far my favorite colorblind mode to be playing on, especially in game. Coming down here, 3D resolution, I'm playing on 88, which is just nice for a little bit of input delay, not to be playing on 100. It just helps your render a little bit. And now, currently at the time of recording, they have taken out the bubble wrap builds for performance mode. So I am playing on high meshes, high texture, textures, and basically it's like performance mode but with the regular DirectX 11 builds, because I don't want to play on mobile builds. You know, they're really good for input delay, but I just think they look really ugly and I don't want to use those in my videos. And I have VSync off, of course, and then performance mode. So that's all for my video settings. And now going over to game, I will just scroll through this really quick for you guys. One big thing that some of you guys asked about with my binds was how am I running without a bind, but I have sprint by default on right here, as you can see, so it automatically makes me run when I'm holding W. I have auto open doors on, and there's not too much more here that's important besides building is very important right here. For reset building choice, you have that on, disable pre-edit option on, turbo building on, of course. And then I highly recommend, as I always do whenever I do a settings or binds video, I always will have confirm edit on release on. This is something that will never change for me. You cannot argue with me that it's better to have it on than off. You guys need to switch this if you haven't already. It's going to make a big difference in your editing speed and consistency, even if it feels awkward at first. Confirm edit on release is extremely good. There's almost no arguing that it's not as the alpha decision right there. So you have to be using confirm edit on release, guys. And now going over to HUD, all this is just preference completely. It really makes no difference. Of course, if you turn some of these things down or make your HUD scale lower, it can help maybe slightly with some input delay, but nothing really to worry about there. Now getting into the good stuff, I have made major changes to my sensitivity, guys. So I was playing on 800 DPI, about 7.4, 7.4 the last time you checked in, and now I have moved up to 8% with 1600 DPI. Listen to that, so 1600 DPI with an 8% XY axis sensitivity, and my targeting and scope sense are exactly the same. So guys, here's the thing, right? I am playing on about double the sensitivity that I was the last time I made a video on this about 3 months ago. I've worked my way up to this, and I can tell you right now, it's a blast playing on a much higher sensitivity. Your aim will definitely suffer a bit at first, and this is why, as I was saying earlier in the video, I recommend you guys slowly move your sensitivity up if that's something you want to do. You don't want to do that all in one sweep where you just go right to the top, because it's going to be too much for you to control. You need to inch your way up your sensitivity, but the main difference here is 1600 DPI. So my mouse DPI has doubled, aka if you were just playing on 800 DPI right now, let's say you're an 800 DPI player, you would have to have your X and Y at 16% to match that. So it's the same kind of sense conversion. I'm sure you guys know what I mean, but 1600 DPI as opposed to my previous 800 with 8% XY sensitivity, which is a very, very high sense. I also play with the heavier mouse, play with the Logitech G903, so it kind of fits me personally. But yeah, guys, much higher sensitivity now. I just think it's super flashy, super fun, but you have to prepare for some big challenges with the aim. We can skip over controller settings and volume settings. I just have those down for the video. And now getting into the binds, guys. In my previous video about 3 months ago, almost nothing has changed with my binds. I'm just making this video because it's highly requested, and I have a lot of questions that I have to answer about how I use my binds. So I'll be going over that right now. So I have WASD movement, which is pretty obvious. I use spacebar to jump, 6 for auto run, left control for crouch, which I click with my pinky. And then for fire, it is left mouse button, right mouse button target, R for reload, E for use. Harvesting tool is click down on my scroll wheel. And then weapon slot 1, which I use as my pump shotgun, is scroll wheel up. Then for my weapon slot 2, which I use as my SMG always, I have it as Q, which is right next to W, so it's super easy to switch to my SMG in a fight. This is weird to get used to at first, but I'm telling you guys, it's really, really alpha. And then I use 3, 4, and 5 for my other weapon slots. AR right here, then I use utility or movement, just kind of depends just on what kind of loadout I'm rocking. Then left control for crouch while building, which I never really use. And now here's something that everybody has been commenting about on my last video that's come to make me make this video, is the thumb mouse button thing. So guys, I highly recommend, as I said earlier in this video, and I will cover it one more time right now, that you guys need to have thumb mouse buttons to build in Fortnite. Now, here's the thing, right? If you're playing Warzone or Rainbow Six Siege or something like that on keyboard and mouse, you don't need nearly as many binds to play those games. Fortnite is actually the hardest game to switch to keyboard and mouse on, as I learned doing my own switch. And I highly recommend you guys invest at minimum a $20 or $30 mouse that has thumb mouse buttons. You almost need them to build efficiently in Fortnite. But as you guys can see, I use my front mouse button. I use my thumb to click both of these for my stairs and my wall. And then I use C right here for floors, which I actually use. I don't use my thumb for C. I use my left pointer finger, the same button I used to edit with F. So I click F and C with my left pointer finger, just to give you a nice idea of that. Another question tons of you guys were asking is how do I tilt my keyboard? I usually do it at a 45-degree angle, just so you guys know that. And then right here, obviously I use scroll wheel reset, and I edit with F, as I was just saying. So F and C get a lot of work for me, and then H is repair upgrade, which is kind of pointless, you know, nothing big there. But the main thing is that you guys need something with mouse buttons. You need mouse build binds if you're going to be able to build properly in Fortnite. It's just too hard to compete without it. Trying to have all those binds on your keyboard at the same time is just simply not efficient, like in any way. And is there any more important settings down here? I don't really remember. Just vehicles. Let me see. No, nothing important. But if you guys have any more questions, right, I hope that this cleared up a lot for you guys in this video today. I went over some big differences in my sensitivity, covered some of the big questions in the comments from the last video on my keybinds about 3 months ago. So I figured it was time for an update just to give you guys some more help. So I hope you enjoyed this video, man. Make sure y'all drop a sub with the noties on. It's been your boy iHumbo, and I am out. Have a wonderful day, man.